Welcome to the Man United stream. Hope you're doing well after today's performance. If you can call that a performance. I mean, it was absolutely horrendous. Absolute shambles throughout the whole of Man United. Absolutely. Not just behind the scenes, but even on the pitch. We are hopeless. We are a complete disgrace. A complete disgrace to everybody who goes out there in this freezing cold to watch this team play. It wasn't even a team performance. What was that? It's an absolute shambles. We don't know whether we're coming or going. It just feels like we've just taken 10 steps back since last week. And we all know what the problem is. But we're just all afraid of calling it out. We're all afraid. We just don't have the balls or don't have the sense to see what's happening at this club. And it's not happened since last week or since Ruben Amorim came or whatever. Absolutely not. This is a problem that's been at the club for many, many years, but we've just not been able to sort it out. We've just not been able to call it out like we should have been doing a long time ago, because we all thought, let's leave it to the next man. Let's leave it to the next man to call out what's going on at United. Let's leave it to him. Oh, I can't be bothered saying anything. Leave it to that next fan. He might protest. He might come out and say what I want to say, but I'm not going to come out and say it because I don't want the backlash, or I don't want to even go into this whole negativity. But we must. We have to accept that things are not going to get better unless we, as a fan base, unite together and call out the things that are wrong at United. And shit, there's lots wrong. There's so much wrong. I mean, I could just write a long list. It goes on for pages and pages of what the hell's been going on at this club and why things have not got any better. Now, those people who were calling out Ruben Amorim last week or asking for him to be sacked, well, I know what you're thinking. Because look, I'm not immune to that. I also didn't like what I was watching under Ruben Amorim, but I'm telling you one thing, after watching these two games, I think I'm beginning to miss him. I'm beginning to think twice now as to what the hell has happened at United. Even I know, actually, what I'm watching right now, we could play 4 at the back, 5 at the back, 6 at the back, 7, 8, whatever. But we will still leak goals. We will still let in goals left, right, centre. Because we are shit. We are shit. The players at this club are simply not good enough. And they've not been taken apart. They've not been thrown out of the club because we've got a bunch of owners who just simply don't want to spend money. So immediately when they look at players who are playing shit, they don't say, right, okay, let's get them out. Let's go and actually buy some better players. Let's go and improve. Because they don't want to. Because they look at anything that needs improving and they realise it's going to cost them. It's going to cost them. So therefore, they just sit back down again and say, let's keep it as it is then. Let's keep these players exactly where they are. We all know, I've said it week in, week out, it's an absolute disgrace what we're watching. What we're watching unfolding out on the Old Trafford pitch is a disgrace to that pitch. The football, the glorious football that was played on that turf before these idiots turned up. It's an absolute shambles. I was saying it whilst I was in the watch along. I was saying, do you know what someone needs to do? Someone needs to sit these players down and put on a bloody archive video of all the players that have played before them and the glory that we've seen on that pitch. The theatre of bloody dreams. It's a theatre of nightmares right now. Theatre of nightmares. It's bloody embarrassing. And it's embarrassing because as soon as I finish the bloody game, I get text after text, message after message from rival fans taking their piss. Saying, you idiots, you bunch of clowns, Look at you. Thinking that things are going to become better at United. You bloody idiots. You don't know what's going on. Look at you. You're going to stay shit, blah, blah, blah. And I've got nothing to come back with. Because even I know, and even I've accepted, that things are not going to change anymore. How many times do I have to do the same thing and reach the same point? How many times will we sack managers and not achieve anything? How many? How many managers are we going to go through? Until we realise, actually, this doesn't work. It's not going to work. I said it whilst I was doing the watch-along. There's two things that have been constant in all this absolute disgrace of football that you can't even call it football. I don't know what I'm watching. You'd rather watch paint bloody dry than watch United play right now. That's how awful it is. There's two things that have been constant ever since we've been watching this kind of football. Number one is the players. We've still got the same old faces in there. Yes, we've got a few new faces, but majority of the team are still a bunch of losers. They've accepted the mediocre football that they play, and they realise that they can get away with it. They realise they can stay there and still get paid. They can get paid to put in these kind of performances. So they're thinking, right, okay, we might as well stay on. We might as well carry on. We might as well carry on. We're getting away with it. They're getting away with robbery. You know, every time they're walking, no one's stopping them. And they're thinking, okay, we've done it once or twice, but we've not had a backlash. I tell you what, we'll go again. We'll do it again. And they walk off the pitch, clapping. And I said to everyone who's watching on the chat earlier before, and I was saying, look, you know what's going to happen, don't you? This is Groundhog Day. They're going to come out an hour or two after the game, and they're going to put it on the Instagram or a social media feed, or, you know, bad day at the office, or, you know, we go again next week. What? Like, how many times are we going to get that from them? Absolute rubbish. The way they come out saying, oh yeah, it's like they get over it. They get over the loss quicker than we do as fans. We sit here for the night. Maybe tomorrow morning we wake up, we think about it, we go into work, we discuss it with colleagues and friends or whatever. We talk about how crap United were, how they've been knocked out of the FA Cup, how we're going to go and play City and Arsenal and all the next games, and we discuss it between friends. And we all know, right, okay, we don't get over it. Whereas these footballers that are playing for United right now, my God, do they get over it? They get over it like that, like a flash. It's like someone just turns up, like, you know, what you get in one of those movies, Men in Black movies, you know, someone comes and flashes a light in their eyes and boom, they forget everything that's just happened on the pitch. Did we lose? No, we didn't. No, we didn't. Well, we didn't lose. We didn't lose. We're fine. Let's go again. Let's go again. Oh, let's put out a social media feed, and it will drown all our sorrows, and we'll be fine. And that's what they do. They put it out there. Oh, they snap a picture of themselves, you know, making a tackle or running, and, you know, actually doing something, and then they're like, bad loss today, but we go again. Thank you. Bullshit. We've bloody spent good money watching this shit. We spent all our time. Wasting our time watching this shit. You've put us through misery. And all you think is that you can put out a post and we'll accept it and say, right, okay, that's fine. This is where we're at this club. And that's the players. And then let's move on to the owners, right? Let's move on to the Glazers and INEOS. I mean, I put out a tweet saying, where's Wilcox? We need to find Wilcox. Where is he? Where's he hiding? Because that guy's got something to answer to, right? I mean, it's the Wilcox show. That's what it is. Do not upset Wilcox. And we're walking straight into another disaster. We're walking straight into an appointment of an interim manager who's going to be a choice of INEOS, who's going to be a yes man. And why has it taken so long? Why has it taken over a week? I mean, most teams, most clubs would immediately appoint another manager, a long-term manager. This is an interim manager. He's not going to be in control of anything, let's be honest. And they still have taken over a week to appoint an interim manager. Interviewing interim managers. Like, what? When have you ever heard a club saying, oh, we're sitting down to interview for interim manager positions? What? Shut up, man. Stop gaslighting us. We know what you're doing. You're looking for a yes man. You're looking for somebody who'll come in and toe the line. Somebody who will say nothing in front of the press against INEOS. And we see it already in the media. No one in the mainstream media calls out INEOS or the Glazers. How long have the Glazers been screwing this club over for? Yet we've not heard anything from mainstream media about the shite that they've done at this club. Absolute ridiculous, right? We've just been getting gaslit, and then suddenly INEOS come in and they're the best at it. Really, they're even better than the Glazers. I have to give it to them. They are brilliant at telling us and feeding us shit. We're in the middle of the January transfer window. We could do with 1 or 2 new signings to make sure we've got enough for the next manager, whoever's going to be coming in, so we can actually go. We need better players. And yet, they want us to completely ignore that fact. They want us to carry on looking at this team and thinking, oh no, we can still come good. We can still do good next half of the season. Bullshit. I'm telling you, after today's performance, I reckon we're not going to qualify for the Champions League spots. I'll be shocked. I'll be shocked if we qualify for the Champions League spots, given the performances of the players today. They are lackluster. They have no clue. They absolutely are not committing to football that they're playing. They hardly go in there and make a tackle. How I don't even see anybody fighting, arguing, going in there hard. Nobody. The only player who I saw today with some passion was the young winger Lacey who came on. He was the only one who actually got sent off, but I wasn't angry about it. I really wasn't. I wasn't upset. I was like, right, okay, at least someone's got some bloody blood running through their stream. Right, at least someone's got some blood running through them. Because the rest of them might as well be bloody robots. They turn up every week, they play the exact same shitty football, and they expect to be clapped off Old Trafford. And they know what the protocol is. They know exactly what's going to happen. They play shit football, manager gets sacked. They play shit football, manager gets sacked. Ruben Amorim probably sat there with a cigar in his mouth, laughing at everybody today, saying, I told you so. And that is the reality of it. I was watching United play today, and it dawned on me, and I thought, shit, we've gone backwards. We were actually playing better football under Ruben Amorim. We were creating more chances. We were actually getting more shots on target. The XG. Look, I've never been a big fan of XG and this and that, but we were doing. At least we could argue that we were better stat-wise. Yes, we weren't winning games, but at least we could turn around and put that in people's faces, right? Like, oh, look, we've got top XG in the Premier League. We're gonna go down them rankings as well soon. We probably already are, right? Our XG's probably gone down. Everything's gone down. Shots on target, everything just has tumbled down. And we're not going to get that back either. So the whole, hanging on that little hope that, oh, look, we're actually doing well. Stats-wise, we've got the most shots on target. We've scored second most goals in the Premier League. Like, this is it. This is now going to all collapse around us. INEOS never had a plan. And when you don't have a plan, you don't take the drastic decision of sacking the manager overnight. That's the problem. That's what we all have to call out INEOS for. And now we're leaving the decision of appointing the next interim manager and long-term manager in the hands of these clowns who got the first appointment wrong. Oh, whether they got it wrong or not, we're not sure. But what they did do was go in there and say that they're going to back this manager, say that they're going to rebuild the squad around him, say that they were going to put money down and actually give him the transfers that he needs, and then suddenly, oh no, we don't like this guy. We're not going to back him. We're not going to back him. How many times are we going to see that happen as well? Until, as a fan base, we need to wake up and say, enough's enough. Enough's enough. Like, I'm panicking right now. I swear I'm panicking. I'm thinking, shit, we're going to play City, Arsenal in the coming weeks. We're going to get absolutely demolished on that performance tonight. Unless something drastically changes, we're going to get demolished. But look, the other thing, let me point this out to you guys. Let me actually clarify this to you so you understand what's going on. We are performing like this, and we're hoping that the new interim manager, whoever it might be, Carrick or Solskjaer, because those are the two names that have been mentioned. I won't be even shocked if Fletcher gets the job. You know, they might just think he's perfect. You know, he just kind of bores everyone to death in the press conferences. Perfect. Yeah, he's not going to say anything extraordinary. He's not going to come out and say something crazy. Let's give him the job. Perfect. That's what we want. We want an absolute puppet. We want someone who's just going to bore everyone and not going to say anything against INEOS. So that's what they want. But let me come back to the new interim manager. If we do get Solskjaer and if we do get Carrick, I don't feel like there's going to be a bounce. You know, the new manager bounce that you normally see in teams. We saw it with Chelsea yesterday. We're not going to get that. We're not going to get that. And I'm telling you why we're not going to get that is because most of these players actually liked Ruben Amorim. Most of these players actually were happy with what was going on under Ruben Amorim. Yes, as fans, we were questioning it. Including me. I'm not ruling myself out here, by the way. I'm not saying, look, I was, Ruben Amorim in. I wasn't. I was sat on the fence. I wasn't Ruben Amorim in, but I wasn't Ruben Amorim out either. But I was kind of saying, well, look, Ruben Amorim's not getting things right. His three at the back's not working. But I also knew that this is our last chance saloon. Right? We can't go back to doing what we've been doing in the past years, which is just getting rid of the manager. The first thing, things aren't going right, we get rid of the manager. Let's explore a little bit more. What is actually going on? And I called it out a month ago. I said, look, the big point of this season will be the January transfer window. We will see who is at fault. Is it INEOS or is it Ruben Amorim? And it's clear to see that it was INEOS. And the moment Ruben Amorim lifted the lid, they got rid of him. What's happened to the January transfer window? What's happened to bringing in midfielders? Absolutely gone out the window. Absolutely no talk about midfielders coming in. And this is the biggest problem. I don't like talking about negative news and saying that United are a complete shambles, but we are. Something needs to change. And we had the 1958 protest just before the game. I hope it brings some limelight to what's going on. We had a few banners at Old Trafford saying Jim can't fix it. And, well, he certainly can't fix it. He's not interested in fixing it. He's here to demolish it. He's here to take a hammer at this and demolish anything else that was left that kept us intact with the golden era, the glory days, the Sir Alex Ferguson days. He's here to cut any ties with that. That's all he's here for. That's what he's going to do. He's doing a favour for the Glazers. The Glazers are bought him in. And anyone who's hoping that the Glazers are going to turn around and say, oh, let's get rid of INEOS, you're not on the same planet. Seriously. I mean, the Glazers are thanking their lucky stars. They're thinking, oh my God, this is a godsend. Jim Ratcliffe is a godsend. He turned up when we had zero money, rescued us. But not only did he rescue us, he's also saving us from all this shit that all the fans are throwing at us, right? Because everyone's going after INEOS and Jim Ratcliffe, and rightly so, because he is the one who took that on himself, saying, all right, do you know what? I'm gonna save everything. I'm gonna save United, and I'm gonna save the Glazers from all this, because they're lovely people, you see. The Glazers are lovely. You've got it all wrong. You've got it all wrong. All you Man United fans, the Glazers are lovely people. That's what Jim's saying to us. That's what he's trying to tell us. He's saying that Jim Ratcliffe is telling us, and he's been telling us the moment he walked in, even before he actually walked in as the part owners of United, he's told us, I love the Glazers. I think they're lovely people. And I think the fans have got it all wrong. Yeah, the fans have got it all wrong because before the Glazers got here, we had that 1.23 billion pound debt, didn't we? Yeah. Before the Glazers got here, we were a complete shit show, weren't we? Yeah. No, we bloody weren't. Yeah. The Glazers have screwed us over, and we know it full well. We don't want to hear it from anybody, and certainly not Jim Ratcliffe about, oh look, everything's okay. Everything's not okay. Not okay. And sorry to burst everyone's bubble about, oh, we're gonna go and get Tuchel end of the season, or we're going to go get someone like Enrique. First of all, Enrique has ruled himself out because he's staying at PSG. Number two, Tuchel, and the likes of him, Eddie Howe, and these kind of managers, they're not going to touch Man United with a barge pole because they saw what happened to Ruben Amorim. That's it. That is it, guys. Any decent world-class manager looking at what's happened at Ruben Amorim will not want to come in here. The only ones we're going to end up with is probably Solskjaer or Carrick. I mean, Solskjaer wants to do the job for bloody free, right? So he's going to come in and he's going to say, look, thank you very much. I'll do this job. I'll do it. And then that's it. Once things get worse, they're probably going to sack him, probably bring in someone like Carrick, Fletcher. It's just going to get passed around like that. We're going to end up winning nothing. We might as well right now, I mean, we're talking already about writing off the season. In fact, yesterday in Fletcher's press conference, that question was put to him because Fletcher, when Mourinho got sacked halfway through the season, he put out a post on social media saying, oh, well, we might as well write off the remaining season because when you get rid of a manager at halfway through the season, you might as well write off the season. And someone said that to him, said, so now Ruben's been sacked and you've come in as caretaker manager or whatever, yeah? Are you saying that we should write off the rest of the season? And he knew, and he said, oh no, it was just me being naive and young, but that's not true. Nothing's changed all of a sudden. That's exactly what's happening. We can see the season slipping through our fingers where we were only a couple of weeks ago talking about, oh, look, we're Champions League football. But right now, I swear, looking at United play just completely demoralizes you. And you're clutching at positives. You're like, oh, Sesko scores another goal. Oh, brilliant. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. United can equalise now, and we can get back in again. I feel honestly, I just don't know what else to say. As fans, we're hurting, man. It's painful to watch, and I feel like, oh, maybe it's just me who's that upset about this. But there's loads of us. Everyone watches the game. Everyone leaves upset. And really, I don't know what else to say. That is, we just need to get rid of them. We need to get rid of the owners. We need somehow to work out a way to say, right, enough's enough. Someone needs to take action. Just get out of our bloody club, man. Just get out of it. Just leave. You're not doing any favours for yourselves or for us. Just bloody leave. Sell up, man. You're not committed to this. You're not cut out for this. You've had enough time. Glazers, of course, have had years upon years. And INEOS, in this time, nothing's changed. And it's not going to change. I keep warning everybody. And I warned everybody when INEOS first took over. I said, look, guys, look at what they've done with Nice. If you want to know where United's going to be in the next 5 years, look at what they've done to Nice out in League One, which is arguably a shit. Well, it is a shit league. It's an easy league. There's about 3-4 teams that you're competing against. And yet, even Nice are in the bottom half of the table. That's what we're going to be like. I mean, 15th last season, in fact, probably just is probably right for INEOS. INEOS probably was celebrating behind closed doors. Oh, we reached 15th. Brilliant. Yeah, 15th. Oh, we were out of the relegation zone. Let's celebrate. Because that's what they're used to as owners of football clubs. They don't do any better than that. They don't compete for leagues. If that's what you're thinking, they don't compete for leagues. So that's what INEOS are like. Why would they change with United? Absolutely not. They're not going to change. They're not going to invest in any other players. They're hoping that we hit jackpot with 1 or 2 academy players, and that's it. And they're going to accept whoever's going to take the least salary, in my opinion. Interim manager, whoever's the cheapest, bring him in. That's what it is. Anyway, I'm going to go to the chats. I'll quickly have a read through your chats because obviously it's been crazy in the chat as well. Everyone wants their say, and then we'll see what everyone is saying. We'll see what everyone's saying, man. It's crazy. I've just been watching the Barcelona game as well. Let me just move my screen here. Right, okay. I've been watching the Barcelona game, Real Madrid-Barcelona. I think Barcelona have just finished watching that and I think they've won. The screen's gone off, so I don't really know. So anyway, look, man, we're so cooked, man. We're so cooked in this niche. Welcome to the show, mate. Hope you're doing well. Completely and utterly crap. Fletcher knows that the players are garbage. The players are absolutely useless. Absolutely useless. There's no two ways about it. That is what Amorim was complaining about. Yes, they're all mid. Yeah, they are. It's a total disgrace. It is, man. It's a disgrace. There's no other word for it. Manchester United way, hope you're doing well, mate. There isn't a formation in the world that will work with some of these players. Spot on, mate. Spot on. That's what we were saying. We were saying you could play 8 at the back today, but we still will be shit. You can play whatever formation you want to play with this United team, with these set of players, but we will still be shit. We will still concede because that is the problem at United. It's not the formation. We thought it might be the formation. Even I did. And I'm not saying, look, I'm blaming others here, by the way. I'm not taking a pop at other people, other fans who might believe that Amorim was at fault. I'm telling you what I thought. And I was like, oh yeah, I'm not happy with this formation. I'm not happy with the system. I'm not happy with how Ruben Amorim's playing. But now, comparing what Ruben Amorim was doing with this team and what we've seen with Fletcher, and this is a sign of things to come, I realised pretty quickly, shit, Ruben Amorim was making these players look good. He was making these players look good. These guys are completely shit. Dogu was looking good under Ruben Amorim. Same thing with Dalot. He was actually starting to look slightly better than he is. And I thought, right, okay, maybe Dogu can actually improve. And maybe Dalot could improve. Honestly speaking, we don't have the team. We have crap players. Levy says, we have players who can hold us hostage because no one will buy them. Very good point. It will take 2 more years to get this rebuild done. It will not be the only day we are all made miserable by these players. Yeah, look, the problem is we have been held hostage by these players because these players, I actually in yesterday's stream was talking about Harry Maguire, and I was saying, look, remember the time when Harry Maguire was going to get sold to West Ham, but he was like, no, I want you to give me my compensation and I'll leave, or if not, I'm going to stay. INEOS, the cheapskates, thought, right, okay, no, we're not going to pay him his compensation. Let's just keep him. Let's just keep Harry Maguire and let's just keep paying him and let's keep him in the squad and let's force whichever manager that comes in to make sure that he's got to play with these sets of players, right? That's what it is. Ruben Amorim was the first manager we got in, I think, going all the way back to Ralph Rangnick, who was actually honest. He was honest. And that's why I liked him. I did like him for that reason. I kept saying it to you guys. Look, I like Ruben Amorim because I feel like he's honest. And he was the honest manager who came out and told us these players are psychologically not strong enough. They're mentally not strong enough. They're a set of losers. They're a set of losers. That's what essentially he was saying to us in nice words. That these guys are a bunch of losers who've just got used to losing. So even when they're winning, they can't handle it. Even when they take the lead in matches, they don't know what to do with being in the lead. They have to give goals to make them feel comfortable, make them feel safe and cozy again because, oh, we're losing. So it's like, no, that's a feeling that we're used to, isn't it? So yeah, we're losing. Oh yeah, we'll walk off the pitch because we're a flipping bunch of losers. Seeing Lacey crying because he let the fans down and was sent off, then apologised in Instagram. Then I know those babies that take millions and don't care all about the fans watching them. Yeah, spot on. That's it. That's what I was saying in the watch along. I was like, look, that's the player who actually cares. That's the player who cares. The rest of them do not give a shit, guys. I'm telling you, the rest of them, you can see it all over their faces. They don't care, man. They're not playing for the badge. They're not playing for the club. They're there just as mercenaries. They're collecting their wage at the end of each month, and they don't give a crap about anything else. They're not here to play for the manager or anything else. They're not here to play for the badge. I mean, any team that's playing for the badge would not lose, or would not draw against Wolves at home. Wolves team, that's arguably the worst team in the Premier League we've seen for a long, long time. a team that's just got 2 points before they met us at home. That's why I know that these players are the problem. After the display, I will no longer defend anyone at United outside of Vivell. The state of this squad is absolutely unacceptable. Coaching and the roster construction is mind-numbing awful. Yeah, it is, man. It is. Look, I'm not saying every single one of these players is rubbish. Look, there's some players that I forgive. And it's not I forgive. I just feel like it's too early to judge them, and they're not part of the problem. Like Senny Lemons, right? He's not part of the problem. In fact, he's come in and he's kept us in games this season. Same thing with Sesko. Yes, he's not been playing well start of the season. He's got a few goals. He got his goal today, and I feel like it's too early to judge him. He's come into this shit show. He doesn't know what to make of it. But look, you can't expect one young or two young players to carry the team. But we know the rest of the usual suspects in that squad are shit. The only ones I think that genuinely want to win are Ahmad and Lamens. No one else cares. We have a couple of players that have the mentality but not the quality, but to be United players, mate. Yep, that's spot on. We do have players who think that they're good enough, but in reality, they're just simply not good enough to be wearing that shirt of United. They're not. We've got to, as fans, accept it, and we've got to call it out and say, look, yeah, they're not good enough. They're not good enough. Ahmad is the only one I'd keep. Maybe in Mbumo. Mainu couldn't give a toss. Yeah, Mainu's lost it, man. Mainu has lost it. I don't know what it is. He's just not feeling it. But I think most of these young players that Man United have let down, or either way, whatever's happening, whether it's just the ownership and the whole philosophy and just everything that's the atmosphere around the club is just not right. It's not in a place where, players thrive. So the atmosphere and the ethos around the club is so bad that I think the players have given up as well. They're like, right, okay, the owners are shit. The owners don't care, so why should we care? If the bosses, the hierarchy don't care, why should we care? If the owners are not willing to put money into this club and sort things out, why should we care? That's what it's all about. All the mentality comes from players who arrived in the last 14 months when Ahmad is new because no one would play him before Amrin. Yeah. And you got that. We got that just the day before where Ahmad made he had an interview and he said how he felt like Ruben Amorim was a father figure to him. Now, that's big praise. From a footballer, when you hear a footballer saying he was like a father figure to me, that's big praise. That was Ruben Amorim to Ahmad. Yeah, Ahmad said, I was playing my best football underneath Ruben Amorim. Now, yeah, I'm worried. that the Ahmad that might return might not be the same Ahmad. He might turn around and say, well, screw it. Why should I play it now? They've got rid of, my manager. Amorim was doomed to fail, never back, just lied to. Yeah, he was lied to, man. Absolutely. I have to listen to what I said about these guys. Did not down tools with Amorim. They have been told not to express any positive message about they want to shut the positive machine on Amorim. Yeah. It's true. What they're trying to do is they're trying to bring out negative news around Amorim so the tide turns against him. And there are a number of fans as well, some fan channels who are like Amorim out, and I get what they're saying. They're saying that the win rate wasn't good enough, this wasn't good enough, but I'm telling you, they're in for a surprise. They're in for a surprise because they think that we're going to get some kind of bounce back. They think that we're going to suddenly start winning games. But on the performances of the last two games under Fletcher, we look like we're going to struggle. We're going to struggle big time. And in the next couple of weeks, we could be kissing goodbye to our entire season. The Premier League as well. The FA Cup we're out of. We're out of the Carabao Cup. The only thing we're playing for now is the Premier League. And that could be over very soon. I mean, what are we going to do? Ryan, hope you're doing well, mate. They took 2 weeks to hire Interim because this regime wants fans to forget transfers and focus on who is next manager in the team. Disgraced. Yep, exactly on point. What INEOS are playing is mind games. They want all the fans to forget that this we're in the middle of a bloody transfer window. A transfer window that I said was the most important transfer window for United in many, many years. The January transfer window was all about opportunity to go out there and strengthen this squad, go out there and give Ruben Amorim the players that he was missing. Go and give Ruben the midfielder that he really wanted. And he said, that's the missing piece in this jigsaw. If you give me that, I'll make these shit players cook. And if, judging on what we saw today, he was getting the best out of these players. I swear he was. Judging on what we've seen in these two performances against Burnley, which we should have won as well. Burnley, again, are just above Wolves in the Premier League, right? I mean, that was a poor performance as well. I don't care what people say about, it was 2-2 and we scored goals and we looked good and we looked dangerous. Yes, but we didn't kill it. We didn't kill the game off. We didn't go and win. That's the problem. But yeah, you're right. The biggest problem we've got right now is INEOS. Is forget the managers, forget the interim and everything else. It's just a huge smoke screen that they've put in front of us. Because they know fans will be distracted and they know exactly how to do it. And that's why they fed these shitty news stories to the likes of Sky News and all the rest. And they've been on complete show after show about, which manager is going to go to Man United? And they've done the whole huge segments, hour-long segments about the Man United's next manager, Tuchel, Enrique, Eddie Howe, and bullshit, guys. That's bullshit. None of them are going to come here. Not zero. I'm telling you right now, mark my words, no Tuchel, no Eddie Howe, no Enrique. None of these top managers are going to be looking to come to United. That's just an absolute lie. And the reason why, even if they wanted to come, even if Tuchel had an absolute terrible time with England at the World Cup, and he comes back and he finishes off with them, yeah? Even then, they will not appoint Tuchel, because Tuchel is more or less the same as Ruben. In fact, probably worse, yeah, when it comes to working upwards with the board. He had the same issue with Chelsea. He had the same issue at PSG. He doesn't get on with people who want to force him to play in a certain way. Well, Wilcock's in for a surprise if he wants Tuchel, right? Because we heard from Wilcox, he wants to bloody coach everything. He wants to do everything. He wants hands-on with everything. Hence why Ruben Amorim was like, no, you do your bloody job, I'll do my bloody job. And he got the sack for it. Do you think Tuchel's going to be coming in and saying, right, okay, yeah, Wilcox, you tell me how to coach my players, and you tell me what formation I should be playing? It's bloody laughable. It's laughable. But yet the mainstream media are spending loads of time distracting Man United fans. That's because INEOS are drip feeding them. INEOS know how to supply the mainstream media with the information that they want going out on air. They want this information all around. Oh, yeah, we're looking at Tuchel and we're looking at these top managers, and then all the fans will get gassed and be like, yeah, we're going to get a sick manager end of this season. What season? Forget the season. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter where we end, because we're going to end up with a sick manager, and then we're going to go again and we're going to rebuild, and we're going to... How many times have we done that? How many times have we been fed this lie about rebuilding the whole team? Think back to when Ten Hag lost his job and Ruben Amorim came in halfway through the season, and we were like, right, yeah, let's write off the entire... It doesn't matter. Let's write off the entire season, because come the summer, Ruben's going to cook. He's going to be given the players that he needs. We're going to go out there and buy this player and that player, and then we have a show upon show, whether it's from mainstream media, Sky News or whoever, and they're all putting out the same content. Who are Man United going to buy in this summer? They're going to go, they're going to go and buy this player, and they're going to go and buy this striker, and United are monitoring this player and are looking at this player. Bullshit. We just get fed these lies just to distract us, just to keep us from thinking about what's actually going on in real time. United are not doing well. That's what they're distracting us from. And of course, when we've got something to look forward to, no one's going to be pointing fingers at INEOS, are they? No one. No one. We're not going to care. That's why we don't care. That's why I don't care who we hire as interim or permanent. Those players and board will make even Luis Enrique look like an amateur as a manager. Our fans will want him a sack in here. Yep, spot on. We would make any top manager look like a complete joker. Because you can't expect them to cook with these players. You can't. Yeah, Lacey actually wanted to win. Glad he's got the passion. This is why Amorim was laughing on his way out. He knew the players were crap. Yeah. Spot on, man. Spot on. I think that too. I really do now. Showing Alex players will not help them. These players are not focused and mentality period, and this has been going on for years. The decline starts to erode after because was about money. Yeah, it is. It's always about money. It always comes down to money. United look like a team run by under 18 team manager that's no skill set or experience to run one of the biggest teams in the world. Coaches, managers matter. This is nuts. Yeah. Do you know what? I would not be surprised if they turn around and they just end up giving him the job. They might be just, perfect. Yeah, just give it to Fletcher. I wanted us to lose because all this needs is to stop. I knew that if we'd won, you all would not kept the same energy. Be honest with yourselves. No, you're right. Yeah, spot on, man. Spot on. I'll bring that comment back up again. ML, you're 100% right. I've said it many times. And we're fickle. We're fickle as fans. We are fickle as fans, including me. The moment I see United win, I'm in a happy mood. And I forget about the negatives. And I'll be like, right, okay, yeah. But yes, sometimes you've got to go through this to understand, yes, things are not right and things are not in order. But I also think that it's been a long time since we can actually sit back and say we've enjoyed watching football at United and we enjoyed United play football. I absolutely love to hire someone who was not a person who played for the team. How about the best in class, not best in house? Yeah, spot on. Good comment there. It is about that. Best in class. Do you think the so-called best in class will come and take tactical advice from Wilcox? Yeah, spot on. That's it. Number one, we haven't got best in class. We haven't. We've got whoever's turned up. Right, whoever's costing us cheap money and whoever's who's sticking to the INEOS line, they get the job. Jeff Bezos is our only hope. Yeah, we need about 10 Jeff Bezos, man. We need someone coming in and spending money. If Wilcox will not hire best in class, he should be removed. The Glazers will not be able to behind INEOS because that is what if they're doing. If not, when INEOS go, the Glazers will do and not be able to hide. Yeah, that's it. That's what I said. I think the Glazers have got this protection screen around them, this protection cloak of INEOS, and they're not going to get rid of that. No way. Maybe this is what we get for grabbing two people associated with 115 charges at City, to run our team. It's bad luck or bad karma. Yeah, I agree, man. Barada is another one who's got a lot to answer for. Anyone who wants to do something for 3, you need to question it. Yeah, anyone for free. Yeah, definitely, man. I'm not keen on a Solskjaer, man. If you listen to Fletcher's post-conference was not sticking to the script. He was not sticking to the script. All right, I need to check that out. I've not watched his post-match press conference fully. Why would they hire an interim for Arsenal and City game so he can start with 2 losses? They will leave Fletcher for this game and then hire someone. Also, excuse for no transfers this season. Yeah, I can see that happening. I really can see that happening. But I just think that if they do that, I think the fans will be on their backs. I swear. I think the fans will really get pissed off knowing that they've got no plan and that they've not brought anybody else in. So I think they won't do that. I think they will announce someone tomorrow. That's what I'm hearing. I'm hearing that tomorrow or early this week, they will bring somebody in as interim coach, or they'll announce Fletcher as the full-time interim coach. Go and get the best-in-class coach who will work within the parameters of our new sporting setup and then stick to a flipping plan. Holy heck. Is that so hard? Omar, it's time you're held accountable. Yep. Listen, Omar Barada, Wilcox, the 2 people working beneath INEOS, the ones who are controlling everything, have got so much to answer for. Dalot, Shaw, Maguire, Bruno has sacked multiple managers and they are still here. Madness. Yeah, that's my point. That is my point in today's stream. There's all these players who have been here and allowed managers to get sacked one after the other, yet they're still here. Why? Why not test out the other side? Why not get rid of these players and see whether the players are the actual problem? And I'll give you a flipping clue. They are the problem. Brighton reserves beat us tonight. Yeah, man, they just did us. They embarrassed us. How many times have we said it? That these players, these set of players, have literally been embarrassed so many times at Old Trafford. So many times. By shitty teams. They're not even like the best teams in the Premier League. I just go and buy a selection of Championship players who are genuine Man United fans. Yeah, I've thought that many times. I've thought, what if... I'd love to do an experiment where you just go out there and buy just hardcore players, the ones who will give you 100% week in, week out. No drama, no emotional baggage, no nothing, just hardcore players. And I think you'd get better results out of them. I disagree with you. A manager is supposed to make players look good, and that's why they don't look good now, because the system has changed, and that's on INEOS, no one else. Look, yeah, that's like if that's what you think. I mean, look, I think we've got to. All those players are used to play 4 at the back, mate. No excuses for them. Yeah, they've whatever bloody formation, we should still be getting better performances out of these players. I don't care whether it's Fletcher, whether it's Amorim or whoever. We should still be getting... There's teams out there, I said yesterday, there's teams out there who've played without managers and put in better bloody performances, right? Why do they need a manager to tell them how to play and win against Wolves or Burnley? It just makes no sense. We're just making up excuses for him. Just seriously. They're just not good enough. They're just not good enough. And it hasn't got everything. Everything is not down to the manager. The manager can only do so much. Even if Ruben Amorim was playing 3 at the back, and I accept this, the players still have to go out there and do a job. They still have to win. And whatever formation they're playing, there's no way Ruben Amorim saying let them score, is he? Is the manager of United saying, go out there and when you go one up, make sure you give them a goal so they don't feel too bad, and then go and score again, and then when you're 2-1 up, make sure you let them score so they equalise so they don't feel too bad. Never. Of course, Ruben Amorim, whoever the manager, Fletcher, whoever is saying, go out there and bloody win the game. Go out there and play football. And I know Fletcher, what he said in the Burnley game and tonight is just go out there and enjoy yourselves. Go out there and play football. Go and do what you're good at. And that's what we got. We've been served up with that shit. Just keep an eye on the Prem table after the next 2 games, probably in the bottom half of the table. Yeah. Look, yeah. And I've been saying that way back. I've said to you way back, I've been saying that, look, this table, this Premier League, this season is really deceptive because there's not much points between the top 4 and bottom all the way down to 15th position. So the table can change and flip-flop within a couple of games. I need something good to think about my club. Give me some hope for the future. The only hope, man, I can give you is it can only get better. It can only get better. I mean, we are rock bottom right now. It can only get better. There's no manager bounce because these guys did not down tools only get a bounce when against players. Yeah, I said that. Yeah, spot on. Yeah. Manchester United will be 17th, 18th position in the Premier League. Joseph, yeah, that's it, man. That is the danger. That is what most fans are now panicking about. We can see it. We can see it happening. The rebuild is a mission impossible. Even Sir Alex Ferguson would struggle. I think that's what I've just added on there. I agree, because today's game, you need money. You need money to actually rebuild. You can't do anything without money. We're competing against clubs around us that have got money, infrastructure, good managers. They've got the whole lot in place. That's what makes them successful. We can't just put in one thing and expect everything else to remain the same and it to work. It just does not work. We can't do that. You know, you can't make a cake without half the ingredients. Jao, welcome to the channel, mate. Hope you're doing well. Let's read this out. For rebuild context, Ferguson, first 63 matches at Man United, win rate 38, draw rate 28, loss rate 34. Amorim, first 63 matches, win rate 39, draw rate 23.8, loss rate 36.5. Look, yeah. Look, I'm not going to disagree with that. I'm at that stage right now. You know, you put things like that in front of me, and I'm thinking, yeah, you know, INEOS have got a lot to answer for. We are shafted. We are shafted. They've essentially got rid of a manager who was there in middle of the season, still putting up with this shit, and they've just got rid of him because they didn't want to go out there in the transfer market. That's what has happened. They didn't want to go out there and buy somebody. And I said it earlier on in today's watch along. I said they've spent 30 million to get rid of Ruben Amorim. They could have spent that 30 million and gone and bought a midfielder in the January window that could have offered us something. But no, allow that. Yeah, didn't do that. You're so right. There were people genuinely saying we'd be getting Enrique anywhere between 15 to bottom of the table if we don't get these people out. Maresca wouldn't even come to United. He wouldn't. You know, so Alex would get screwed nowadays. Fletcher actually being thrown under the bus. Yes, that's why I don't want him. I don't want him to be hanging around too long, because he's gonna get fed to the lions. Weren't these supposed to tell us that the interim was after the match? Let's announce later in the week so we can eat into the January transfer window and not buy any one jokers. Yeah, that's right. That's what I said it. I called it the day Ruben Amorim got sacked. We will struggle. We're not buying anybody because these guys are just, you know, smoke screen and everything. Also about transfers this window, which serious player will sign for us when we don't have a manager, we don't have a vision and a plan to show? Yeah, that's it. Make them sign for us. Nobody in their right mind would want to jump onto this ship, which is sinking and sinking fast. And the owners don't have a clue. Nobody. Look, it's not a secret. Glazers are not good. It's not a secret. INEOS are not doing well. And which player wants to come to a club like this? Yeah. The only reason why we got the players that we got this summer was because of being Man United. But how long is that going to last? I wouldn't blame Ahmad if he wanted to leave. Any decent player is going to win anything with us whilst the cartel is in. Yeah, look, if an offer comes in for Bruno, Ahmad, I think they'll jump ship. The Glazers took us when we had zero debt and made billions in dividends off us. Yeah, spot on. Listen, I knew we were going to lose, so I'm going to sleep well. Have a good week because I knew this was going to happen. I don't need gratification like some spotters. Well, you saved yourself, ML. I swear, man. I swear. Menu is shite. I don't rate him at all. Free Menu. What a joke. No panic from me. I'm actually a Del boy. Would say Kushti. Well done. That's puts a smile on our faces, ML. By the way, Barcelona won the Super Cup final against Madrid. Oh, thanks, Shards, man. Appreciate that. Why not United promote academy players like Barca? Well, you know, that's a really good point. You need to put some investment in there. You need to actually develop these players and give them opportunities. And the other thing is that, which I've pointed out, which is when you bring and put in the likes of Lacey and you put in JJ Gabriel and Cornet and stuff like that, players like that, Fletcher, they come in. You can develop them in decent teams when all the senior players are actually good and give a shit about the team and club and play football like they really mean it. That's when the youngsters see the passion in the senior team and think, right, we want to be good. But at this club right now, I don't think many young players are going to develop in the right way. That's my problem. We saw Lacey and what his passion was like today. But after about 7-8 games or playing in the season, they just drain that out of you. Look at Kobe Mainoo. Look at the other youngsters that we've had at this club who've left us now because they've been drained of any enthusiasm. and they've got no respect for playing for Man United anymore. That's the other thing I feel like that's been lost over this time of having the Glazers as owners. Players have lost respect for the club. They don't respect the badge anymore. They don't care that they're playing for this club. Whereas back in the days, young players would dream about playing for Man United, and when they'd put that shirt on, they'd give 110%, and they'd appreciate playing for this club. But not anymore. I feel like youngsters treat it like anything else. Hence what Ruben Amorim was saying about kids being entitled. The youngsters. All the fan channels are on meltdown, especially FUTV. That channel put no respect on Amorim's name. Man, do you know what? Loads of channels did that. Loads of fans did that. Loads of people said, "Look, yeah, this is. Oh, we need to sack him." Team cohesion is very important. Academy players will bring you that. Yes and no. I mean, they need to be put. If we're hoping that all the academy players can come in and lift the senior players, I think that's going to be very difficult. I really do. I think it's going to be very, very difficult. But anyway, guys, I'm going to leave it there. I'll be back tomorrow with another show. I just want to say thank you to everybody who's come on today in the chat. If you've not subscribed, please make sure you hit that subscribe button. And if you're going out, make sure you hit the like as well. But make sure you hit that subscribe, everyone. I want to say thanks to Shaz, ML, of course, like always, Niche, always, the man, Manchester United way, always with the facts, points, and Jao, Pino, thank you for that as well. And Niche, I've already mentioned, and who has Joseph as well. Thank you, Levy. Great points made today as well. Everybody else who's jumped onto the stream, thank you very much. Make sure you hit the like, make sure you subscribe, and I'll be back tomorrow with the inquest, and hopefully we might have some confirmation as to who the next interim boss is of Man United. Thank you very much, guys. Take care. Good night.